Hi, Facebook friends. My name is Derrick Little, and I do not take for granted this opportunity I have to share with you something that I want to talk about. And today it's called the power of the transformed mind. You know what I want you to think about in your life is how productive are you being? What things are you thinking about the most? Because the mind is the central meeting place for all of our thoughts, all of our desires, all the things that we want to do. We generally process right here in our minds. And so what I want you to think about is, how are you thinking? What's going on up here? The Bible talks about us being transformed by the renewing of our minds. Now what I want you to do, I want you to think about that word process. And I want you to think about the word transformed. Those words tend to deal with the notion of being programmed. So what are you and I allowing to program us on a daily basis? The average person spends about 8 hours a day sleeping. That's a considerable amount of time when you think about that over the course of a year. And then think about that. Also, the average person spends about 5 hours watching television. Now that's amazing. That's truly amazing. 5 hours. But think about that. The next time you're watching that Housewives of Atlanta, or you're watching the Family Feud over and over again in the rerun. I know, because I'm at work and we watch it during lunchtime. But think about that. And then also I want you to think about this. The average person spends about more than 200 days of that 365-day year unfocused, unaware of what they're doing with their lives, what we want to get accomplished. How often do you find yourself, seems like you're in quicksand, you're not able to get things done when you want to get them done, because you don't seem to have enough time in the day. And most of the time we don't have enough time because we waste time. I know I'm guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. So I want to encourage you today to think about what's going on in your life. How much of your life are you spending unfocused, and what are you allowing to program you? In your mind, like I said earlier, is the central meeting place for all your desires and all the things you want to do. And so the power of having a transformed mind is being able to focus, being able to filter out of your mind all of these things that are negative. How many negative thoughts a day do you have? Think about that. How much do you spend focusing on negativity, focusing on things that really have nothing to do with your life, nothing to do with the things that you want to do in life? These things clutter our minds. These things keep us unfocused, keeps us stressed. Do you know that there's so many diseases out there that are associated with stress? How much stress do you have in your life? You know what I want you to do? I want you to take inventory of your life right now. I want you to write down how much stress you're dealing with, things that are stressing you out, and how are you handling those things in the process of your life, in your day. Begin to find better ways to deal with the stresses that are going on in your life. Because I found a research that says that the overexposure to stress, it actually causes your DNA to wither. Can you believe that? To start to wither. And so it affects our DNA. And so negativity, being unfocused, not having our minds cluttered with all of this stuff that goes through our minds from television, from idle conversations, these things affect us in ways that we may not be thinking about. And like I said earlier, you spend a lot of time sleeping, a lot of time working, a lot of time watching television. How productive are you being in your life? I heard that the key to happiness in life is process and progress. You got to embrace the process in life of what it's going to take to get to where you want to go. See, lots of times we have goals, we have aspirations, we have things we want to do, but we get frustrated with the process. And the process generally helps us to appreciate where we end up when we get there. See, I want to lose 80 pounds in my life. And you know how many times I have lost 18 pounds? Tremendously. Many times I've lost 18 pounds over and over and over again. But the reason why I've not got to that 80-pound weight loss goal that I want is because I really haven't embraced the process. See, I enjoy, based upon my behavior, I enjoy the idea of losing weight. But it's not ever going to happen for you until you and myself make the conscious decision to change. And once I make the decision that I am going to lose weight and I stop trying to lose weight, that's when I'm going to make that progress I want to make. And see, also is this, don't get discouraged in the process because, like I said earlier, the key to happiness in life is progress. You want to lose 40 pounds. You want to save $40,000 towards your home, your first home. Listen, if you're looking in that bank account and you're putting $2, $5, $20, $30 aside at a time, and you see that number start to grow from 30 to 60 to 150, or you step on that scale and you start to see that weight you want to lose go from 2 to 10 to 20. See, that's process. That's process and progress. You're embracing the process, which means you're doing what you have to do to get there. And then you're embracing the reality and you're being encouraged by the progress you're making. So you can grow and be made better in all these things, but you got to embrace the process and you got to enjoy the progress you make one step at a time. So as you think about refocusing yourself and having a transformed mind, rethink things that are going on in your life, things you're thinking about, things you're doing, and begin to have more positivity in your life. Have more things you're reading that's going to motivate you and encourage you. And I know this might seem self-serving, but I'm a pastor here in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And if you want to, you can visit our website at www.nowallschristianministry.org. I built into the website a motivation board. We need things that are going to motivate us, and they're going to encourage us and reprogram our minds. Think about how you've grown up in your life. I know I grew up in an environment where there was so much negativity, so much futility, talented people, but we tend to lack the ability to process, through the things we need to process in order to achieve the things we want to achieve and become productive in our lives. And so think about all that stuff you've had to come through in your personal life, in your family life, and even in your bloodline. And begin to look at how those things have begun to affect you right up here in your thinking, in your mind. And so I want to encourage you today. Begin to reevaluate the things that you're thinking about, behaviors that you have, things that are keeping you unfocused, keeping you from pursuing and achieving the goals that you want, and not to become frustrated with the process, because that process is what's going to help you embrace it and encourage all the change that you want to make in your life. And then also understand that as you grow, as your mind is transformed, as you change, that it's going to be the progress you make one step at a time that's going to help you continue to make that growth and change you want to make. Again, my name is Derrick Little. I want to thank you so very much for your time and thank you so much for listening. God bless.